Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Fourth Quarter Girl.
Don't do that goddamn voice.
I'm your host. Excuse me. I'm trying to have a little fun, Kyle, my damn introduction. But anyway, folks, thank you for tuning in. We got a special episode. We're cutting straight to the over-unders tonight. No bullshit. NFC East coming in hot. I'm bringing up the first damn topic already.
Division.
Dak Prescott and...
Can I just point out one thing real quick?
You can, Brian. I got to warm up my pipes anyway. Go ahead.
I love your Redskins colors tonight, man. So I just want to make sure. I love the burgundy and gold you have on there tonight.
I'm putting homage out for Dwayne Haskins a little bit here. You know, just we got to cover that. But honestly, look, season 3 soon, gents. Look at this.
What is that?
Yes, sir.
Stranger Things. You know you like that.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm watching it right now just to recap.
We can apply to this policy, right? All right, first one, folks. So is Dak Prescott. We're doing the Cowboys first, but then we're going to cover the Eagles. Then we got the Redskins and the Giants. So first one is Dak.
Before we start, wait. Not to cut you off, but before we start, I just NFC East unrelated. Look, it just came out, I think the other day, that the Oakland Raiders are going to be featured on Hard Knocks. So I want to congratulate the Oakland Raiders for being featured on such a prestigious show, and best of luck on your 4-12 season. Thank you.
It's going to be pretty interesting.
Antonio Brown's excited. He's very excited.
Gentlemen, Dak Prescott throws for 4,000 passing yards. I'll start off this lovely little thing here. Dak isn't really the volume passing quarterback that we all love in today's game. Even at 526 attempts this season, he was just outside of 3,900 passing yards. As his attempts go up, so will his rushing attempts, as he raised those from 57 to 75 last season. But I'm sorry, I do not see a 4,000-yard season for Mr. Prescott. Spoonie, tell me what you got for me. Lay it on. Go for it.
Yes, sir. I'm going over. Dak threw for 3,885 yards last season. Halfway before the Amari Cooper trade, it was basically a wide receiver by committee. It hurt the offense a whole lot. It hurt the running game. The minute Amari Cooper was traded to the Cowboys, basically Amari Cooper was the leading receiver the second half of the season. Also, with Scott Linehan not being around, I trust Kellen Moore will open up his offense a little bit more, and we will see Dak go over 4,000 yards.
Is anyone shocked that Tim went over? Is anyone going to be shocked if Tim goes over on all of these Dallas Cowboy predictions? Look, I'm going to go over on this one with Dak. I'm with Tim on this. Weeks 1 through 7 prior to getting Amari Cooper, he only had 2 games where he actually threw for over 200 yards. Weeks 9 through 16, he had 3 games where he was under 200 yards and 2 games where he threw for over 300 yards. And I'm with Tim on this. I think they're going to open up the offense a little more. It's not going to be much more. But if Dallas is going to be any type of threat this season, Dak Prescott is going to have to come into his own, and he's going to have to make a mark. And this is going to be he's going to have to go for 28 touchdowns to 30 touchdowns, and he's going to have to throw for over 4,000 yards this season. I think with what they've got there, they can do it. So I'm going to take the over.
I'm going to go ahead and take the barely over. I think he's going to be able to get, I think he was 125 yards. I'm not good at math, 115, 25 yards away from 4,000 last year. So I think he'll be able to make that up this year based off a couple of things. Like you guys already mentioned, Kellen Moore, the new offensive coordinator, who I have a lot of intriguing. I think he's a smart football guy. Obviously, the former quarterback at Boise State. I think he's going to help Dak Prescott in some ways, hopefully. And then, honestly, I think Zeke's going to miss some games. So I think Dak's going to have to throw the football a couple times a few more times this year. So I could actually see them having to. And then, of course, Amari Cooper's going to want to eat too. So he's been demanding the football as well because he wants to get paid. So for those reasons, and the emergence of Michael Gallup, who I like as well. For those reasons, I think Dak does go over. I think he's barely gonna get. That's like 4,100.
Listen, I'm gonna say slightly over as well, and I want to read to you guys how much of an impact Amari Cooper's had over. I know you guys already pointed out, but let's look at his stats for a second. With Amari Cooper, he's had a 74.1 completion percentage, right? 285 yards per game with a 105.7 passer rating. Now, if you take that over a 16 game season, that's about 4,500 yards. Is he gonna throw that much yards in the season? Of course not. But you have to understand how much of an impact Amari Cooper has on Dak Prescott. He has to evolve as a quarterback. I mean, you got to be able to throw the football, be better. And I feel like with some changes, like they got a second year, they got a full season of Amari Cooper. I got a feeling that they're going to be able to build that chemistry between Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott. That's going to grow, all right? And like Brian said, they don't have Ezekiel Elliott. What's that going to do for that offense? Is he going to throw the ball a little bit more? I mean, I think so. So I'm definitely going to take over a little bit for this one.
Oh, I'm going to be that guy here. I'm taking the under. Not by much, but I'm taking the under for a few reasons. One, I don't think Zeke's going to play a full 16. I think he may play 12, but the thing is when he doesn't play, we've seen what this offense looks like when Zeke isn't in there to give them a rhythm in the running game and when you put it all on Dak's back. Granted, they do have Amari Cooper now, who is a big play receiver. They get Randall Cobb as a slot receiver, another guy who can move the chains if healthy. I just don't think, and also I'll add in the fact that Kellen Moore is a first-year OC. I don't know what type of game he's going to call. One thing to watch for is if they don't pay Dak this summer, this turns into a big year for Dak because this year will determine how rich he's going to be the following year in free agency if he gets there or if the Cowboys extend him. I think he'll go under. If you gave me a number, I'd say 39.50.
All right. I can dig that. And for our next one, I'm sorry. Let me get this video. This video somehow appeared. It's these pop-ups on the internet nowadays, folks. I really apologize about this. Internet Explorer, I got to update this thing. So there we go. Get that out of the way. The next one we got is going to be Ezekiel Elliott has 10.5 rushing touchdowns. 10.5 is a big mark, fellas, on a team with a lot of new mouths to feed. The East has also been garnishing up their defensive lines in a division that touts some of the best running backs, I would say. I mean, Zeke had a great season last year, but only captured 6 on the ground while Dak has more attempts this season. I think we keep seeing that same balance in Dallas with the Clapper as head coach. 8 to 9 touchdowns rushing for Zeke this season. I'm taking the under.
Well, as of right now, he's not suspended. We don't know anything yet. It's all allegations, and So as of right now, I'm gonna say my answer as if he's playing a full 16-game season, and I'm going over. Why am I going over? Because when he went for 15 touchdowns rookie year, he wasn't really seen so much in the passing game. Last year, he had 567 yards receiving. That was the most as a Dallas Cowboy. Now, by putting him more in the passing game, it kind of hurt him for his touches as rushing touchdowns. So with the Cowboys now getting guys like Tony Pollard from the draft, who will be seeing more in the passing game, I believe that Ezekiel Elliott will go back to the way he was bought into, just keep rushing. So I'm going over, maybe 11, 12.
You know what, Tim? That was great. That was absolutely great and fantastic. Keep it up with the overs. I'm going to go under the assumption, too, that he's going to play a full 16. And under that assumption, I'm going to take the under. Because, like you said, there's more mouths to feed. And this team, this is going to be Dak Prescott. If Dak Prescott goes over 4,000 yards and puts up anywhere between 26 to 30 touchdowns, you bet your ass Zeke is going to be the odd man out. He'll be good between the 20s, but once you get to the red zone, you've got red zone targets. We saw what Amari Cooper was able to do when he got to Dallas. We know what Randall Cobb can do when he's healthy. Let's face it. This guy, he's going to get his carries. He's going to get his yards, but he's not getting over 10 touchdowns this season.
You also add Jason Witten back into that mix too in the red zone.
He'll be calling the game more than he'll be playing in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under as well. I didn't even realize I didn't realize he only had 6 touchdowns last year. That's actually kind of surprising, even though he led the league in the rushing. He had 15 his rookie year, and I don't think he's gonna top that. I'm gonna go ahead and say under for the simple reasons what Fogback said, and for the simple reasons what Kyle said about Dak Prescott. This could be a career year for Dak Prescott. So, and again, I'm going to go ahead and factor in that Zeke to be out for a couple games, and I think that's going to affect him. And it's gonna take some time for him to get the ball rolling. And I think the ball is going to go through the air a lot this year for Dallas. I think Zeke's going to be a part of that. Don't get me wrong. He may even match his total for receiving touchdowns this year that he had last year for rushing with 6. So I don't see him getting around 10.5. I have the under. I could see him probably about matching last or 2017 with 7, maybe even 8 this year. But based off of what you guys said, and the Jason Witten comment by Kyle was actually a good point. I forgot he was even back. That could affect it as well in the red zone, especially. I'm gonna go ahead and say under.
I'm gonna go slightly under. I think I'm gonna factor in he's probably gonna be suspended, probably for 4 games at least. But looking from this perspective too, is like if Dak is gonna have a career year, right? I mean, a lot of red zone opportunities. I just think it'd be dumb for him to not to give the Zeke football when they're inside the goal line, basically. So I think too, the only reason I'm going to say he's going to have unders is because he's probably going to be suspended. But I don't see them kind of opening up and kind of throwing the ball when they're down like the 1 yard line, the 5 yard line. I feel like that's where Zeke is going to get his touches. I'm going to give him under, but slightly.
Yeah, a lot of good points made. I do think he'll be slightly under. Not to reiterate, I want to and this is with him being suspended or not. Still think it'll be under. I want to reiterate one thing: Kellen Moore is a big wild card. We do not know what type of game he's going to call, and because of that, I'm a little uncertain as to how this team is going to be composed on offense. I want to say it'll be all Dak, but you never know.
Tim's been good so far. Two Cowboy questions down and no rebuttals yet. I'm very proud of you, Tim. Very proud of you so far. And this last one for the Cowboys is actually Amari Cooper. He's going to be number 10 in receiving yards for 2019. Quite simply, no. In comparison to last year, for Cooper to have top 10 honors this year, I'm not trying to be a hater, but he would have to amass 1337 in yardage to budge Travis Kelce out of that 10th spot. As I stated before, too, Dallas will continue their balanced approach on offense. Dak isn't throwing for 4,000, in my opinion, so there's no way that Amari's having over the 1,300. That's the only way that Dak is essentially going to get to 4K, is if Amari Cooper has a top 10 season. But I'm taking the under on this, fellas.
Number 10, right?
Number 10.
You know what? I'm number 10 is not bad. I mean, I'm gonna go over. I can see him go number 8, number 7, because last year he was the best receiver in the second half of the season. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Odell Beckham Jr. got a new quarterback. He's in Cleveland. He's not in the NFC no more. Julio Jones will always be Julio Jones. Okay, we know that. Hopkins will always be Hopkins. Thielen, I think, was a one-time wonder. I don't think he will be in the top 5 or top 7 again. I don't know what's gonna happen. Devontae Adams, let's see if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. I mean, let's keep it real. Amari Cooper was the best wide receiver with the most numbers in the second half of the season. Let's just say how he would have started the whole season, like our friend Jason said. He probably would have been at least top 5 right there. Right there. So you know what? Hell yeah, I'm going over. He's number 8. Why not?
Nah, I'm taking the under. Dak can throw for over 4,000 yards with him catching for a little over 1,200 yards. Again, with the players that they have surrounding Dak at the receiver position. I'm taking the under on this one because Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Evans, you left him out conveniently. Antonio Brown, AJ Green is fully healthy. Juju Schuster, you left him out too. DeAndre Hopkins, I forgot to name the best wide receiver in the league, T.Y. Hilton. And then you've got OBJ, who wasn't in the top 10 last year. He hardly played. You have Travis Kelce, who was a tight end, who finished in the top 10. George Kittle, if I'm not mistaken, in San Francisco, finished ahead of Cooper in yards as well.
Stop it, Miggs. You are fired.
What more do I have to say? In all honesty, he could go for 1,300 yards this year. And if Tyreek Hill doesn't wind up getting suspended, there's another name that goes ahead of Amari Cooper.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. They pretty much just named every single damn receiver in the league, and but he's pretty much right. I just don't see Amari Cooper amassing 1336. That would, like Josh said, it will kick Travis Kelce out the top 10, even amassing 1297, which Antonio Brown had last year. Robert Woods, Brandon Cook. I mean, I just think there's too many teams out there that are more pass oriented and have like those single, I'm not saying Amari Cooper's not a number one receiver, because he is, but I just feel like I can see Dak Prescott spreading the ball around, and with his safety blanket, Jason Witten coming back, that's going to take away some catches and yards from him as well. Michael Gallup, who the Cowboys like a lot, he's going to take away some yards from Amari Cooper as well. And I just look at the game logs. I've always said this, and I love the Amari Cooper coming out of college, out of Alabama, I believe back in 2015. But he's just one of the most inconsistent wide receivers I've ever seen. It's just one game he'll have 210, and the next game he'll have 60. Another game he'll have 125, and next game he'll have 40. And he didn't do that last year. He did a great job. He was consistent last year towards the end of the year or second half, but I just feel like Amari Cooper disappears way too many times to be in the top 10. So until he fixes that, or until he can figure out a way to not disappear, I just don't see him finishing in the top 10. I think he could probably amass a career high of 1,200 because he's never had before. But I don't think that's going to help him get into the top 10 of wide receivers. He'll have to have an explosive year. I don't see that.
Yeah, I'm taking under. Some of the talk about just name off a bunch of receivers, just like, but consistently just having just so many good years. And one thing you got to think too is you got Dak Prescott. He's probably gonna have a good year, like you said. I think he had 580 attempts last year, only 3,000 yards. I mean, he's gonna have a big year. But him having those additions too is going to have him kind of like spread the ball a bit more. And that's also too the uncertainty of, like you guys said, Kellen Moore coming in and how he's going to install this offense. I think Amari's going to have a great year, but I don't think it's going to be enough to be top 10.
Wait, so let me get this straight. This was top 10 or number 10?
Yeah, top 10.
Top 10. He'd have to finish 10 or higher.
Number 10 though is the threshold, so over under number 10.
Gotcha. So there's no pushing here. Okay.
Ooh, you could make it creative, Kyle.
I want to say push. I think he'll come in right at 10. Let's look at last year. If I look at this list, if I look at the top 5, like Fox said, if you look at Jones, Hopkins, Evans, Hill, Smith-Schuster, Hill, depending on what happens with him, maybe that. But then you add Michael Thomas in there. But then you look 7, Devontae Adams, George Kittle, Adam Thielen, Travis Kelce. So you got 2 tight ends there who tight ends can, fluctuate depending on their targets. Adam Thielen, I don't know. I mean, the Vikings did take a tight end in the second round. They re-upped Kyle Rudolph. Kirk Cousins is the quarterback, who's kind of inconsistent in terms of, where he places the ball. I think he'll come in right at 10. I think he'll have somewhere around 1,250, 1,300. He'll be Dak's main target. I did the math. Most quarterbacks, your main target should get somewhere between 32 and 38% of the receptions, right? Doing my math, if he was able to, get on the high end of that, even if I projected 3950, he'd be in the 1300s, which would get him solidly there. I don't think it would be much higher than 10, but I could see it. So I'm going to push on this one.
I like it. I think that's the first push we've had since covering the over-unders. I like it. And it took until we reached the damn NFC. Look at that.
Very good. Can I add something?
Yeah, of course you can. Keep up that energy,
T.Y. Hilton. Then we're going to come out and say
why not? He's the yardage guy, not a touchdown guy. What's wrong with that?
But nobody
talked about this.
About the quarterback. I mean, wide receivers don't us the ball. Quarterback throwing the wide receivers the football. Mike Evans, is Jameis Winston going to be the starting quarterback? I mean,
what do you think?
Someone's not keeping it
real. I mean,
I'm calling an energy check.
Someone's not keeping it.
You're not keeping the same energy because Jameis Winston was the starter last year, and Mike Evans is like second or third. But then he gets Bruce Arians as a head coach.
But here's my thing. No, I get what you're saying, Kyle. But we're gonna say that we don't know about Kellen Moore. Well, this is a whole new office for Jameis Winston. This is a whole new office for Mike Evans.
Where's the same energy check? I'm calling another energy check. I'm calling another energy check because what I said was I don't know about Kellen Moore as a play caller. I know about
that man in the middle.
I know very well what Bruce Arians is as a play caller. I don't know what Kellen Moore is yet.
Fuck! Hey! Oh my God! You know what?
That's what I said. Don't twist it.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We and then I like what Brian was saying, but you're naming the Amari Cooper with the Raiders. His numbers skyrocket with the Cowboys. Again, with a quarterback that people still feel that is not good. His numbers got better with Prescott over Carr.
Here's my third energy check, Tim. When he was the Raiders, he was a 2-time Pro Bowl receiver. What do you mean?
Wait, say it again?
Raider.
Say it again?
As a Raider, he was very good. Like, he was a 2-time All-Pro receiver. No, sorry, 2-time Pro Bowl receiver. He was very good as a Raider.
Oh, Amari Cooper. Wait, Amari Cooper was a Pro Bowl receiver, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so here's my thing.
With Raiders.
So here's my thing. Then why we saw what he did with Dallas last year? His number,
Tim, one half of the season. Because look, here's the thing.
He was consistent last year.
One half of the season. Now look, I always say this is what I always say. Everybody has film, okay, and everyone's gonna watch film of this guy. They're gonna know how to stop him, where his weaknesses. That's kind of what happened in Oakland. And again, Amari Cooper has a history of being inconsistent. It's the reason why the Raiders got rid of him.
No.
Wide receiver.
No, the Raiders got rid of him only because Gruden wanted his own team. That's a lot.
Tim, if he was an elite receiver who was consistent, would they get rid of him?
They got rid of Khalil Mack.
I'm talking about Khalil Mack. I'm talking about Amari
He's
Cooper.
elite. They got rid of Khalil Mack though.
About Amari Cooper.
But Brian, I'm telling you, they want to start over with their own guys. Listen, look at Odell Beckham Jr. They got rid of him because why? Not because he's a consistent, because they wanted their own type of culture. I mean, you think
Tim, it was because of the money.
Oh, but here's the thing. I'll take the money over than downing the play as if the play is the problem. No, some teams would not want to keep their play.
I don't think anybody said Amari Cooper was a problem in Dallas.
No. I'm talking about Amari Cooper was a problem with the Raiders as far as them getting rid of him. Another thing, Fog, man, because you being quiet over there. How dare you pick up Juju Schuster? The man had you play one season as number one wide receiver. Calm it down. Because he's dancing with kids and he's all of a sudden, calm down. Let him play one season as a number one wide receiver.
Hey,
he does all this stuff. Juju's a number one receiver?
What? Yo, move on, bro. Like, I'm not getting into this.
Listen, I like Juju, but he's not a number one receiver yet. We haven't seen how he played at all yet. You know what?
Have we seen Amari Cooper get rid of the case of the dropsies yet?
Versus Juju and numbers.
Sorry?
I feel a bet coming on. We'll take it after the show. I feel a bet coming on.
I feel a bet coming on too.
So look, Tim, before you rupture like a blood vessel, look, I said Cooper's top 10.
No, you're good, Kyle. I feel you. It's Fogman. He started stuff. It's the Gator.
It's always Fogman. Well, this is your chance, Spoonie, because we're about to start with the Eagles. And Carson Wentz is the first damn victim. Carson Wentz is going to have 25 passing touchdowns. In my opinion, I'm taking the over on this easily. I'm unsure where the recent Wentz hate has surfaced from in the past year. Maybe it's his durability, but this guy was an MVP candidate in 2017. In 11 games, he had 21 touchdowns. And then in the 2017 season, he had 33 in just those 13 games. So there's no reason for me to believe that he can't have well over the 25 with a healthy season. I'm taking the over. Tim?
Over. Listen, I like Carson Wentz coming out as a rookie from North Texas, and I tell you this right now, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league when healthy. We saw that during the year they won the championship, and on top of that, you added weapons like Deshaun Jackson. People say he's not the same. Listen, the man can fly. He's that deep threat. So you got Deshaun, you got Alshon Jeffrey, you got your of course your number one tight end, and you got Goddard. I can see 30, 35.
Yeah, this is easily the over as long as he stays on the field. I mean, of 32 games the last 2 seasons, he's played only 24, sorry. But in those 24 games, he's thrown 54 touchdowns. So all he's got to do is make it a week 13 or 14, and he should be over that 25 mark.
Yeah, that's easy. It's gonna be way over. I mean, I just and I was looking at this earlier. The Philadelphia Eagles have an offense. They have it's on paper, they have a pretty explosive offense. They acquired Jordan Howard. That's going to help open up the offense as well. Deshaun Jackson is back in town. Alshon Jeffrey, be able to redeem himself. And then they drafted 2 of my favorite guys from the draft, and Miles Sanders, who I believe is going to be a lot more of a factor than people believe. I think he's the backup of Saquon Barkley at Penn State. And then J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who I think could be a great red zone threat. So he's definitely going to contribute to Carson Wentz getting his over 25 touchdowns. I can see about 30, 31 touchdowns from Carson Wentz easily.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer. They got weapons all over the field. Look, and like Brian said, this is that they have. So the only thing in question is durability with Carson Wentz. I mean, if he stay healthy, I mean, it's easy. I'm going to say 33, 34 touchdowns. So
I'm taking over for the guy for the reason you guys said. They can go deep. They could play the intermediate game. They got running backs. They have a nice line. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if we're gonna keep if Wentz plays at full 16. If he hits 40 touchdowns, I would not be surprised. Over.
I'm with Louis Reddy. He's gonna be MVP.
I think
right now.
That's my early pick to be MVP is Wentz.
He's MVP. Comeback player of the year if he's eligible in MVP.
Yeah.
Our boy next is Zach Ertz, and the line for him is he's going to be number 3 in touchdowns amongst tight ends in his position. He's going to be number 3 in touchdowns amongst his position. And Jason, I hate to put the sigh right in the heart, but Ebron had a fluke year, bro. Let's keep it real. Jack Doyle is so much better. But what intrigues me is Jared Cook going over to New Orleans this season. That could open up for some nice red zone targets for him, as we saw him flourish pretty damn well with Carr last year and a dead-ass season in Oakland. But Ertz, some stats for you. Number 4 in red zone targets with 27, only behind Michael Thomas and Juju, 29, and then Devontae Adams, who had 31. So Ertz was also second in the league in receptions with 116, only behind Michael Thomas. Despite only having those 8 touchdowns all season and the addition of Deshaun Jackson in the fold, I oddly think that this makes Ertz more of a red zone threat this year. He'll be behind Travis Kelce in touchdowns for 2019. I'm banking the over.
I'm going under. I'll say Ertz will be number 4. I like Kittles. Again, we discussed a couple of weeks ago about Kelce. Kelce will have the most attempts. in my opinion, than Ertz. And also, I like OJ Howard coming in this season. So, and then again, listen, the coach boy over there, listen, that was last year was his first season. I think he was that big time go-to guy for Andrew Luck, and I don't think that's going to change. So I'm going under.
I'm taking the over easily. If again Wentz stays healthy, he's going to be able to, like Josh, all the reasons. Look, don't even listen to what I say. Refer to everything that Josh said about a minute ago. That's all you need to hear. That's all you need to know. The other guys that were in that top 5 for tight ends and touchdowns were outside of Kelsey and Ertz were Cook, Trey Burton, and Eric Ebron. George Kittle also had 6, so he was tied for 5th over there. Realistically, Kittle and maybe Cook in New Orleans can threaten for that, but it's going to be Kelsey and Ertz.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just say I'm going to say over as well. Pretty much the same reasons you guys said. I do agree that Eric Ebron 13 touchdowns is a little fluky, but I don't think he was too fluky. I think he can come close to that, but he may even be in top 3. But I think Zach Ertz finishes in the top 3. I think he's going to be Carson Wentz's best friend again, and I think Carson Wentz is going to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker, especially in the red zone. I think that opens up a lot with Sean Jackson coming back and just the slew of weapons. I think Zach Ertz is going to be a great red zone threat with the play action and the run RPOs, and I definitely can see Zach Ertz definitely finishing in top 10, or I'm sorry, top 3. And I think it's probably going to be. I think it's going to be Kels, Ertz, and I want to say George Kittle. But I agree with Tim. I like OJ Howard too under Bruce Arians and Jameis Winston. So, but yeah, Ertz is gonna finish top 3. Absolutely.
All right. So I will say this: Ebron will not have the same year, Josh. No, it was a fluke maybe as far as the amount of targets that he got. I agree with you on that. The targets, he got a lot of targets.
You know, I want a number from you too, from Ebron.
So what do you have? What 15? What?
13 touchdowns. So it was just a fluke on targets?
No, it wasn't. It was a fluke on targets because he's not going to get the same amount of targets this season with the additions that we had, right? Because I think we got so many different weapons added on this team. We got Paris Campbell, Naheem Hines, and T.Y. Hilton, and Fun, right? So that's going to be more open targets. The reason why it's not a fluke, it's a fluke in the matters of sense that it's more targets, but I can still see him and Fletcher as being our big end zone targets, right? If you look at the Eagles at home, they have J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. They have Alshon Jeffries. They have – who else do they have as a big receiver? Ertz. The tight end Goddard. Those are 2 big red zone – four big red zone targets. Sorry, Jesus. 4 big red zone targets they could use, all right, that Wentz can go to. Also, too, like Tim said, O.J. Howard – is a guy you don't want to sleep on. It's going to have a big impact if he stays healthy. And you also have to look at who else? Kelsey and Kittle is another one because did the 49ers either they get enough receivers to kind of take the pressure off Kittle's? I mean, who did they draft as wide receiver? I mean, Jalen Hurd. I mean,
they got my man Debo Samuel. Get ready.
Debo. Is that going to be enough? I mean, it might take a little bit less targets from Kittle's, but Kittle still is going to be that guy. He's going to have a big impact in the red zone as well. All right. And you also got, like you guys said, Jared Cook from the Saints. Drew Brees loves his tight ends, right? He's done a great job with tight ends. So I can see that's 5 guys that could possibly be in the top 5 as far as touchdowns goes over Ertz, due to the fact that Wentz has a little bit more targets to throw to in the red zone than the other team. So I'm gonna say what was it? I'm gonna say over. I'm sorry, under. Josh, you say you want a touchdown for Ebron?
You're damn right, I do.
I'm gonna say about 9 to 10 touchdowns.
Oh my God, Jason! I'm taking the bet. I'm taking the bet on that easily. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Okay. Why didn't Jack Doyle play as much last season, Jay?
He was hurt.
Exactly. Thank you.
He was hurt. But But Luck trust Ebron more in the red zone. That's why he had to here, right? Huh?
I'm ready for Kyle's take. Go for it.
Josh brought that energy, so I'm just letting you know. Right?
Both of y'all need to keep the energy to the NFC East, all right?
I'm keeping my bet. You're right.
Sure. Okay, all right. I was just messing with
I
y'all.
need to electrocute my own ass for that shit.
Right. I was just messing with y'all. Well, come back to it. Zach Ertz.
Number 3.
Number 3. I'm gonna push again. I think he will be at 3. Exactly.
Who's your top 2? Don't leave us hanging.
Oh, my top 2 next season.
Yeah, if Ertz is 3, who's your top 2 then for touchdowns and tight ends?
My first thought is gonna be Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely like Travis Kelce in that number 1 spot. I actually think Jared Cook is a candidate to jump in that top 2.
I can't hate on it.
Look, here's the thing about the Chicago Bears and Mitchell Trubisky. I don't know if he's a big boy quarterback yet, so I don't know if Trey Burton is going to get some more work.
Good point.
I don't like their options completely downfield, so I think that's another candidate, but I think he'll be right at number 3.
It could be bullshit, but there was some headlines pumping out on Pro Football Talk earlier about Mitchell Trubisky coming around and trying to be a different demeanor this time around at camp. So guess we'll see if
he's gonna be less trash. Okay.
Guess we'll see if he turned into a big boy in the summer.
Yeah, we'll see. I doubt it, but we'll see.
Last one for the Eagles. Fletcher Cox has 7.5 sacks this year. You know what? In my opinion, he's one of the best DTs in the game. I can't hate it. And he had the best season of his career last year. Hard to sustain that high tier production as we always discuss on 4QQ, but he's still 29. I believe he's right now in the climax of his career. So I'm going to give it up to the big guy. One of the rare, I'm going to give it the rare push. I think he has 7.5 sacks this season.
I'm going over. Or push. It won't, not so much high, but it's definitely
one or the other, Tim. Which one? Excuse me.
I'm going over or push.
I'm going over. I'm going over. One point over. Listen, the big difference between this season and last season on the Eagles line was Malik Jackson. They got a real big boy there, so that means Fletcher Cox may not have to get a lot of the double team as he was getting last season. Hopefully, guys like Derek Barnett, who they drafted a couple of years ago, will come into his own. And Brandon Graham is like he found a fountain of youth. The man just keeps coming and coming and coming. So I definitely can see over.
I'm taking the under, and it's because of Derek Barnett. He's got to play. If he's healthy, he's going to be the guy. Like you said, Tim, you got Malik Jackson, and then you got Fletcher Cox right in the middle. That's a run-stopping duo to begin with, but then they could get to the quarterback as well. And you got these two guys taking up space, and you've got Brandon Graham on one side, and then you've got Derek Barnett on the other side. A healthy Derek Barnett can easily lead this team in sacks, so I'm taking the under.
Wow, you think high of Derek Barnett, huh?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over as well, Fletcher Cox, for all the reasons that you guys said. I think he's in the prime of his career. I like Derek Barnett too. I've liked him for a while now. And I think he's gonna take a lot of pressure off Cox, especially at this point in his career as a defensive end. So yeah, I can see him definitely going over this one. I don't think this is actually gonna be very hard. I think he's gonna actually be one of the leading leaders in sacks this year. So I think the Eagles are one of my sleeper teams. I know I hate to say that, but yeah, they're one of the sleeper teams this year.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna put this. I'm gonna push this. Actually, I'm gonna say he's actually gonna get about 7.5 sacks, 7 roughly. And I like that they brought in Malik Jackson. And I just think that Brandon Graham. I think you can say you found a youth. I just feel like he might take a step back a little bit, honestly. And I think that might put a little more pressure on Fletcher Cox and those guys in the middle. I just think that might factor into it. So I'm gonna push it.
I'm gonna go under slightly. I'm gonna go at 7. Reason being, no one's brought this up. Not only are the starting front four for the Eagles very good, they have great depth. So they got Hassan Ridgeway, they got Timmy Jerrigan. They got Vinny Curry at end who could kick inside on third down. I just think the rotation of the bodies, they drafted Sharif Miller out of Penn State and Josh Sweat as well. So I absolutely I just like their depth, and I think because of that rotation, Fletcher Cox won't see as many snaps as he did last year. So about 7 sacks. I think it'll be very impactful this season, though.
Real quick, Steve, Fogman, one question: Super Bowl or bust?
With the team that they got on paper, yeah, you'd have to say Super Bowl or bust. I mean,
I agree. I agree.
This team is probably on paper the second best team in the NFC.
Yeah, I would say football. I was gonna say the league on paper.
Just curious, who's the first in NFC, Fogman?
You're not gonna like this because it isn't Dallas. In all honesty, a healthy Atlanta Falcons team on both sides of the ball.
How did I knew you were gonna say the fucking?
No, I agree.
I'm sorry.
That's gonna be hard to top.
I don't want to divert, the show, but I actually agree with that notion.
All right. Move on to the Washington Redskins.
The Falcons have no linebackers, but we will move on from that segment.
Oh, God.
We're getting on to the Redskins. This should be interesting. Can I say that word still on YouTube? YouTube, please don't shut us. Don't monetize us, please. I apologize. The first one for the Redskins, though, is Dwayne Haskins starting 10.5 games this year. Boys, this is tricky. Trent Williams now demanding a trade, and the uncertainty of if Eric fucking Flowers may legit be a starter for that O-line in 2019. It's a scary-ass thought for me. I don't know how Redskins fans can sleep at night. On one hand, you think that org would be smart enough to store their young rookie quarterback on the bench until they see what they have on the field, and if that offense or offensive line is even formidable. I believe Case Keenum starts the season and gets to at least 8 to 9 games before they decide to give Haskins some playing time, and they make a decision at that point. But this organization has done everything as backwards. They are dumb enough to do this. But if I was going to put my money on it, I would hope they store this guy away, let him learn a little bit, build that team up because it is in shambles right now. They might be one of the worst teams this year in the league. I'm taking the under.
I'm going under. Listen, we all know that Dwayne Haskins is like a pair of Nike jeans. And Case Keenum is like that pair of jeans you got from the thrift shop that nobody would dare wear in school. He's not a name brand, but again, he is the best quarterback for that team right now. It's going to take the Redskins, in my opinion, to be mathematically out for them to go ahead and, you know what, go ahead and put Dwayne Haskins in. Or if a team like, let's say, the New York Giants, we'll discuss later, puts in Daniel Jones, we have seen in the past how division rivals, but you know what, let's do the same thing. Let's put our young guy in and let's see what happens. So as of right now, I'm going under.
I'm going to take the over. And you mentioned mathematically out for Washington. Philadelphia, Dallas, Chicago, the Giants, the Patriots are
all
their
losses.
first 5 games of the season. Yeah, they can be mathematically out of it after the first 5 games of the season and be like, you know what, fuck it. Let's just throw Haskins in there. It's time. This is Case Keenum we're talking about. Keenum. No. There is no hope in Washington. There are any Redskins fans watching, change your team now because it's going to be a horrible next 10 to 15 years.
Wow. Next 10, 15 years. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, they're done. They'll be done with Haskins in 4 or 5 years. They will have ruined that poor man's career, and then they're going to turn around and screw somebody else over. Look at high school prospects right now in their juniors and senior years. One of those poor guys that are in the top 5 are going to Washington 5 years from now are going to be done.
The objectively biased man is back. That was him right there. A brief of the objectively biased.
Damn.
I don't know. I vehemently disagree with that. I think that's a little extreme, but I think 10.5. I think that's going to be way over. I'm looking at the schedule right now, and I can see them bringing him. I can see them bringing him by week 5. Let him have a home game. It's going to be against New England. It's going to be against the greatest quarterback of all time. I actually want to say week 4 at New York because I would want to see him and Daniel Jones. That's what I think Daniel Jones is going to play. But Dwayne Haskins, he's going to get it. Like Daniel Snyder literally wanted this guy. He's been scouting this guy since he was in high school. Like Daniel Snyder wanted him, fell into his lap. Daniel Snyder is going to have a hand, he is, into getting his guy on the field as early as possible. And I don't think this team is going to be as bad as you guys really think. I mean, they have some weapons. I mean, Darius Geis, if he can stay healthy, is coming back. I don't think people forgot about him. He got hurt in the preseason last year, and I really liked him as a running back coming out of LSU. He needs to stay on the field. I mean, Adrian Peterson is still doing what he's doing. I'm not sure what he has left. Receiving core is pretty shot, and then the offensive line with Trent Williams is kind of in question. But defensively, they're actually not that bad of a football team. That's what pretty much was carrying them all last year. Some reason why they finished 7-9. You guys ever know how I feel about Dwayne Haskins? I think he's going to be box office. I think he's going to be the franchise quarterback of the Washington Redskins for the next, 10 to 15 years, Fog Mag. I don't think they're in shambles, but he's going to be box office. I think he's going to play at least way over. I could say like 14, 15 games.
No left tackle and Eric Flowers. Good luck.
He's going to take his beating. I mean, he's a big guy. He better take his beating, but get ready. He better brace himself.
Yeah, I'm easily taking over too for all the things you guys just said. I mean, they drafted this guy for a reason. He's the future of their team, and they're gonna want to get him in there right away. And I know Case Keenum is not gonna be the answer. I know he's gonna have his issues, so I'm easily taking over.
Maybe I'm too high on the Redskins. I was high on them last year when they got Alex Smith, and I thought that would put them over the top. And they were doing pretty well until Alex Smith's leg exploded.
Right.
Because, echo sentiments, I think they're great on defense. I have a lot of talent on defense, just their offense kind of.
Yeah.
But with that said, to answer the question, I think it's going to be under. And why? Well, because they have Case Keenum. I don't know if they'll keep Colt McCoy or not. Basically, if they're going to say the season is a wash anyway, between those two idiots, it's not really going to matter if you play Haskins or not. If it were me, I would play those two, let Haskins sit for a year so he can get shell-shocked, and try again next year.
This fucking Redskins defense is actually kind of good, they say. Landon Collins has 100 combined tackles. Let's talk about this defense. Josh Norman isn't a tackler. Who the hell is DeShazer Everett? Who the hell are Greg Stroman and Jimmy Moreland, people? This is a good Washington defense?
Hey,
who the hell are 90% of this backfield this season?
I trained Greg Stroman, by the way. Just
so
FYI.
we already know he's out.
Oh my gosh. You told me
I teach him how to tackle. I teach him how to tackle. I taught him how to run, not tackle. We trained his speed. I teach him how to tackle, so if he can't tackle, he can't tackle. That's on me.
If Collins plans to live up to the hype though that he's been giving off this summer, and he wants to live up to that contract he thought he deserved to at least be offered by the Giants, he damn well better be going over that 100 combined tackles mark. He has to get that to not be basically ridiculed this season and say he underperformed. He's all they have of tackling. Oh wait, they brought someone back. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, tackle machine. So it's about 85% of Washington's backfield that we know can't tackle. So I'll take the over for Landon on this one.
I'm taking under. I don't like Landon Collins' attitude so far this whole offseason. He's worrying about his former team too much. I don't like the fact how listen, that secondary is worse than last season. It got worse. There's a reason why the Giants let Landon Collins walk. He's not good in coverage. This is a passing league. You're going to see a lot more pass. The Redskins will see a lot more passing because their secondary is not that good. So I'm going with the under.
Oh, my God. This great defense, right? Ha ha. Clinton Dix was the leading tackler in that secondary with 66. Anybody know who Mason Foster is? He led that team in tackles with 131.
Yeah, Mason Foster's very good.
I'm easily taking the over.
Thank you, Fox.
One.
Thank
easily
God for
taking
Fog
the
mix.
over.
See what I mean? If you're coaching this guy on mute, I don't know. Wow,
Yeah,
he's
this
gonna play
is really
this season,
yeah,
Brian.
Brian, he's not tackling anybody. He could. I don't know how he even heard anything you said. Is that how you taught him how to run?
Hold on. Wait, my bad. I said I think he's gonna be way over. Landon Collins is gonna do exactly what they want him to do. It's play pretty much that like hybrid safety, hybrid safety linebacker thing. I don't know, the Cam Chancellor position, I guess, if I may. He's going to rack up tackles because the Redskins don't really have a lot of tackles on that team. So yeah, I don't see how Landon Collins doesn't get over. If he doesn't get over 100 tackles, either A, he wasn't trying, or B, he was hurt. That's all I can really say. He's gonna be all over the field next year. And to prove what Tim said, I think he's gonna have a lot to prove. So he's gonna be really, really playing the best he can. So absolutely over.
They just gave him a monster contract for him to do what he does best. I mean, you guys can laugh about the Redskins defense, but I think I said this on the last show. I said the Redskins low key could have a very, very good defense, and I said it because of their front four. You got Deron Payne, you got Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, and Ryan Kerrigan. All right, these guys, you know what the front four does to a defense. All right, it elevates them to another level, right? Because it all starts up front. Is what they say. It starts up front. I think
Montez Sweat got a bum shoulder already. Get out of here.
He'll be all right, man. I'm gonna worry about that. Okay, all right, but I'm gonna say over because I think they're gonna allow him to. They're gonna put him in position to kind of make plays. They're gonna let him be that guy, that hybrid linebacker, safety type of player, and just be all over the field. And I'm gonna take over.
Oh, gentlemen, this is so disappointing. First of all, Jason, you said front four. The problem is the Redskins play a 3-4. So you mean front three or front seven? Or?
They're going to have four guys rushing the passer. Those four guys are going to be rushing the passer.
Oh, okay.
Montez Sweat is not going to be put back in. He's not going to be in coverage. They got him for one thing.
He's going to play outside linebacker, so he's going to have to cover at some point. But yeah, right. No, I totally get that. At some point, I have to cover. But I think he'll just be like a situation player first. Cool. They play at 34. Usually, who's your leading tackler in a 34? Quick. Anyone.
Linebackers.
Exactly. Mostly your middle linebacker, your thumper, your depending on what your nomenclature is, but you're bigger of your two Michael linebackers. And who was that last year? Mason Foster?
It was Mason Foster.
Foster it was. He
Foster
was.
and
Mr. Foster.
And it will be Mason Foster again this year. No, I don't think Landon Collins is going to get over 100 total tackles. He'll get close, but I just don't see it. I see most of those tackles going to Mason Foster, John Bostic, and your Jonathan Allen. Who the hell is typing?
And then Brian doesn't mute himself when he should mute himself.
I think it was Fogman. Was it?
I'm not typing nothing.
Y'all out here training people, but can't train yourself not to type when someone's talking. How rude are you? Are you kidding me? Energy check right now. Energy check that man.
Brian, that's strike two. Son of a bitch.
Nah, I keep doing it. This is making the show good.
No, in all seriousness, I think Mason. We're gonna go under.
Yeah, him and Fabian Moreau play that outside. Yeah, linebackers. Shit. Oh man, the next one for the Redskins is Terry McLaurin and Kelvin Harmon combined for 70 receptions for the Redskins this year. This Washington offense might be one of the worst in the league. Jordan Reed led the team with 54 receptions, while Dodson had 44. You had Chris Thompson. He'll still eat up a lot of those receptions too. While it makes sense for a receiver like McLaurin to fill Crowder's spot with around 25 to 30 recs, and I'm not sure how much playing time Harmon is going to see on the field, but if he's lucky to snag even 20 receptions all year long, I think that's pretty much his mark. I'm going to take the under on this one, fellas.
Spoiler alert, I don't know if Kelvin Harmon's going to make the team.
Josh, who are those receivers again?
Terry McLaurin, Kelvin Harmon.
Under.
Yeah, I'm taking the under too. Kelvin Harmon hasn't been I mean, he hasn't looked sharp to say the least in OTAs right now, and he's got to get it together. And McLaurin, look, the reason I thought there was a possibility these guys could go over 70 is because I believe Haskins is going to be right in the thick of things, and I think McLaurin is probably going to be possibly the second or third leading receiver on this team. But at the rate it's looking right now, you got to go the under. It's Washington. It's Washington. It's Washington. They've had 5 winning seasons in the last 18, 19 years. It's Washington.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under too. But if they come close, Terry McLaurin is gonna be the reason, because I think Dwayne Haskins is gonna try to find his former teammates. Naturally, he's gonna try to find him. And you're right, Paul. I think he might finish maybe second or third behind Doxson, and who I'm just so sick of. And then Paul Richardson, who they brought over. So wide receiver position is probably the weakest position on this football team, probably outside of offensive line, if depending on what Trent Williams does. But and then Kelvin Harmon, I'm an ACC guy, and I've seen the guy. He's not what people really thought he was at NC State. Wasn't a huge fan of his, and he's not doing well at all. I was going to bring that up. I'm glad Kyle said that, because he's not doing well at all at OTAs. So if they come close, it's going to be because Terry McLaurin, not because Calvin Harmon. So I'm going to say under.
Yeah, this is too easy for me. I'm going to say under too. And the reason is because you guys said, I think Paul Richardson, Josh Doxson, and Case Keenum being the starter quarterback at the beginning of the season. I mean, he might be in there for like 5 games, might be in there for 8 games. Who knows? But the uncertainty of that situation, getting Haskins in with Keenum could be an issue too. I'm definitely going to take under. I don't know I haven't heard much about Harmon OTA, so yeah, I'm definitely going to take under.
As I alluded to, I just looked at the Redskins' current wide receiver depth chart, and Kelvin Harmon's about the 8th best receiver on that team right now, which says a lot because they are horrible at receiver. And even if he could move his way up to being like 5th or 6th, I don't know if he can play special teams. So that's why I said he may be a practice squad guy this year, in all honesty, and may only play when someone gets hurt. I'm going to take the under.
All right, I like it. And that finishes up the Redskins for us. We got 3 more, and that's just going to cover the Giants and finish us up for the night for the NFC East. And let's see.
Here comes the shit fest. I've been waiting for this.
The first one is going to be take on for Saquon. My man Barkley has 2,000 yards from scrimmage this year. And Gettleman has been making improvements along the O-line. Still going to be the main focal point of that offense. Run the ball, control the clock, open up the pass and play action for Sheila which is where he excels and hasn't been able to perform in that cycle in the past 5 to 6 years. So, or my man Blue Mamba steps in and is even better. But yeah, I'm taking the over on this.
Over. I think Saquon. Listen, I seen that man in person live, and it was like a freak of nature. It was like one minute he like Jerome Bettis, the next minute like Barry Sanders, like Fogg and Brian kept on saying all last year, and I was like, no Barry, and it was like, wow, the dude's he's you can't compare him to any running back. He's his own type of running back. There will be running backs hopefully compared to him. Listen, I think the offense is not as bad as people think. I think they're gonna be better. They're going to be a lot much different with Golden Tate and Sterling Shepard now being without Odell. I'm going over.
All right, let me just shock the world here. I'm taking the under on this. And I'm taking the under for a couple of reasons. Balance. 2017, Pat Shurmur had a very balanced attack with Minnesota, 527 pass attempts to 501 rushing attempts. They didn't have that balance last season with the Giants. it was like, hold on, I think 584 passing attempts to 354 rushing attempts. That's not how Pat Shurmur wants to use Saquon Barkley at all. He does not want to David Johnson him into a knee injury or something. They don't want that. They want to have a more balanced offensive attack. That's why they played their major focus on defense, because they don't want to be on the field consistently. They want to be able to stop people and just grind it out, grind out the clock. And it's going to limit the amount of opportunities that Saquon has. I think Evan Engram is going to play a huge dividends in here, and you're going to see them use Shepard and Tate in a similar fashion to the way they use Diggs and Thielen. So I'm going to take the under.
You know, I've been saying this for a while. When they got rid of Odell Beckham Jr., I was the first to say that they're going to use Saquon Barkley like there's no tomorrow. And I said I feel bad for this guy. He's gonna be great. He's still a young spring chicken, obviously. It's only his second year. But I'm gonna go over. He's gonna get over 2,000 yard scrimmage again. I don't think he's gonna amass what he got last year in the receiving category. I think they're gonna try to run the football a little more this year. So I think his carries are actually gonna go up while his receiving numbers go down. But I still think they're going to utilize him in the passing game. I think I don't want to say it's going to be Saquon Barkley or bust, because I want to say the Giants are going to be more in tune of not misusing him or overusing him, because they're not playing for anything. I don't think they're not playing for a title or a playoff run. I don't think they are. I don't think they think that. So I don't see them overusing him, but it's still going to be him or bust. They still got to move the football, and when in doubt, this guy can move the football. So when you're uncertain at quarterback and you're kind of uncertain at wide receiver, and you have a stud like Saquon Barkley at running back who you know is the real deal, you give it to your real deal. So and that's what I think they're going to do. And so I'm going to go over. I think Saquon Barkley's going to have another box office season, and I think he's going to amass more carries and rushing yards this year than actual passing yards.
Yeah, Brian and Falk made some very good points. I think with them improving their offensive line, which they did improve their offensive line this season, they're going to want to run the football a bit more. But I also think they don't want to push him too much. I give him slightly under, as far as 2,000 yards. But I think they brought those other guys, Tate and merges of Engram, who might be another sleeper tight end who could have a decent year. I forgot about him too. By the way, and Golden Tate and Corey Coleman. I know he's not there, but they want to kind of alleviate the loss of Odell Beckham Jr. so it takes the pressure off of Saquon Barkley. I think he'll be slightly under.
Look, before I go on, look. Fogmake said something to the effect of the Giants invested, trying to get the defense right. It's funny. We talked previously about how bad the Redskins defense. I don't think you've seen the Giants defense yet. I think they're going to be atrocious. But needless to say, do I think Saquon will get over that 2,000 yard? No, for that very same reason Brian said. I think his carries will go up. I don't think his receiving yards are going to incrementally, be in the same realm to get him over that yard mark. They do still have a lot of weapons on offense, but I still think he'll be hovering 1,900, 1,950, so slightly under.
And the next one we got for the G-Men is the rookie defensive backs. DeAndre Baker, Sam, Beal, Julian Love, total 6.5 interceptions. And the Giants as a squad last season had 16 total INTs, 5 alone from Ogletree, 4 somehow miraculously fell into Curtis Riley's dumbass hands. I expect these young defensive backs to make an impression early on as a young squad, but I don't expect them, going off of last year's statistics, to account for about 40% of the total INTs for the Giants. So I'm going to take the under on this one.
Taking the under. Listen, I think Baker's going to be a real good pro. Some say he was the best cornerback coming out in the draft last year. Sam Beal, he got him in the supplemental draft, but he got hurt. We gotta see him come back from that injury. So I'm gonna go under, but I still think Baker's gonna have a pretty solid season.
What, they have 16 interceptions last season?
Yeah.
I don't see them doing any better than that. I could see them doing worse than that. So they added Bethea. You still got Jenkins over there. Peppers. I'm going to take the under.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the under too. For you guys, for some of the other reasons you guys just said, I really like Baker. I think he was the second best cornerback in the draft. I like the other guy too. Who they got at Notre Dame? I forgot his name.
Julian Love.
Julian Love. Yeah, I think he's gonna be a solid cornerback as well. They're gonna be a lot of opportunities. They're gonna get a lot of opportunities though, because I think because the way the Giants can play, they're gonna be struggling a little bit. But still, I just feel like it's not going to be any better than last year. So,
I've been waiting on this right here. It's going to be under, and I'll tell you why from a strictly purely football standpoint. Look, I think Love, Baker, and Beal all three have great pro careers. In fact, I think they'll play so nice that they may push Janoris Jenkins out of town pretty soon here.
Okay.
No, I think it's a good group, right? Here's my problem with the Giants currently. Going to that 3-4 defense, I think your linebacker core is a joke, to be honest.
It's terrible.
It's pretty fucking bad. And here's what I didn't get about your draft in the first round.
It's Blue Mamba. Watch your mouth.
Oh, sorry. I like Dexter Lawrence. I like him a lot. But guess what? You already had a Dexter Lawrence and Dalvin Tomlinson. So you took two of the same player. And Dalvin Tomlinson wasn't that bad last year. So now you got two bigger defensive tackles in that 3-4 who probably going to be on the field at the same time, right? It makes sense. They're both very talented. Here's what also confounds this. You traded for Jabril Peppers. I like Jabril Peppers. You pick up Antoine Bethea. Nice veteran pickup. Again, they're the same player. So they're both kind of more in the box safeties. So I just think right now there's kind of this mismatch of pieces along with kind of a poor linebacking core. I don't think the pass rush is going to be there to help out those rookie defensive backs to get those interceptions. So I'm going to say under.
Well, they didn't have a pass rush last year to help out the defense to get the interceptions that they did. They were, I think, 24th in quarterback hits and second to last in sacks. They couldn't get anybody.
What I'm saying is going to get worse.
They're going to find a trap door to hell and fall through it.
It's going to get worse. Listen, I think they'll stop the run very well. I really do. Getting after the quarterback, though, this ain't it, Chief.
Nope. Evan Engram will have 850 receiving yards. If the ending to last season was any indicator, it should tell us that Engram was getting a lot more trust from the coaching staff. In the last 4 games of the 18 season, Engram had 320 yards on 22 recs. But with the Giants' style of attack and spreading the ball out to multiple personnel, I can't fathom Engram breaking that mark. Last time the Giants had a tight end go over 850, that was in 2005. Jeremy Shockey with 891. He only did it one other time in 2002 with 894. I'm taking the easy under on this one, fellas.
Well, I'm taking the under. Listen, again, it's like I said earlier, you have Golden Tate, you have Sterling Shepard, and you have a new coming guy that it's one of the hot topics of the Giants camp, Darius Slay. And this guy has gone from running with the 4th team offense to now running with the 1st team offense and possibly playing that going in and out that slot role. Real speed guy. I know pretty much Kyle, Fogg, and Brian could touch more about him in college, but word on the street that this guy is making some very good noise in camp so far. So That is why I'm gonna go take the under, because last season as well, we all got to remember when Odell went down, Shepard was also hurt. There was really nobody there but Barkley and Engram, so he had no choice but to make Engram that guy. So checking the under.
Who's better, Kyle Rudolph or Evan Engram?
Evan Engram by far.
Yeah, Evan Engram.
So
just not in blocking.
Right, but yeah,
it's true. But they're not going to be blocking. They're going to be playing catch up for most of their games. Yeah. So if they're going to be playing catch up, if they're going to throw the ball over 500 times, which I believe they want a more balanced attack, but they're still going to have to throw the ball. And quite honestly, the more athletic and faster tight end in Evan Engram as opposed to Kyle Rudolph is going to be at your disposal, and Eli Manning is going to play his best version of Case Keenum. Check down. Guess what? Evan Engram is going to have the opportunities, regardless of who's on the football field. And I can see him actually going over on this 850 mark.
My man, fuck, man. Right on, man. Right on. I'm gonna take over. I think he's gonna be a breakout.
Hold on, I gotta change my pick. Jason agreed with me.
No, Fogman hit it down the head. I think the Giants might struggle a little bit, even though they want to be balanced. They want to. That's going to create some opportunities for Evan Engram because he is a very, very, very good player. Like very athletic, he's very fast, and he's another good target for Eli. Besides Saquon Barkley, so I'm definitely gonna take over.
So it's my turn to do some more dumping. No, but in all seriousness, I'm going over. The reason why I'm going over is because remember how we said the Redskins, their only real semblance of having a shot this year is their defense is going to play lights out because their offense is going to be horrible. The Giants are exactly the opposite. But the Giants have a shot at being, not a complete doormat. Their offense is going to have to step it up because I don't trust that defense one freaking bit. To that end, Pat Shurmur, your head coach, loves what? Loves that tight end. Loves that motion tight end that Evan Engram is. So I think whether it is Daniel Jones or Eli Manning, he's going to get – you remember how Andrew Luck really force-fed Eric Ebron the ball?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think that's what's gonna happen to Evan Engram. He's gonna get his targets. He's gonna get more than he expects certainly. So I'm gonna go over.
Yeah, keep sipping your little vanilla bean frappe latte over there, Sutton. You know it's true. Eric Ebron was force-fed.
And you know what? I'm just saying. Now that we're into the Giants. You ain't saying about Daniel Jones.
Hey, the Blue Mamba, baby.
Come on, the number 6 overall pick.
He's wearing number 8. It says Kobe's his boy. He's the Blue Mamba. That's what it is.
All right, yeah.
He's got that Mamba mentality. I'm telling you, DJ, Eli. He's going to be – Eli is retiring in August. Book it.
Ooh.
Hey, tight end is a rookie quarterback security blanket, so
right.
You know what they say.
Even better if Daniel Jones gets in there. Look, when those bullets fly, he's gonna look at Evan Engram down the seam, or coming across the field, get him some yards. Because, woo!
I'm waiting for some blockbuster drama bullshit to happen with Eli. Even though I can't really picture, it would be kind of entertaining to see.
I got a bonus. I got a bonus over under for y'all. I really do. I got a bonus over under.
Ooh, I love bonuses.
Yes. I got a bonus. We gonna start with the Dallas Cowboys.
His face just changed.
Oh man.
Okay. Let's see. The over under for guaranteed money in Dak Prescott's next contract. I'll set that at 80 million.
Guaranteed. Oh man.
Over under. You taking the over? You taking the under? Because the Cowboys are gonna pay him.
I'm taking the under. It's gonna be around 60, 65.
I'm taking under. That's a lot.
What did Wentz get?
Maybe set 70 tops.
What did Wentz get?
108.
What was his guaranteed?
He got 108.
108.
Guaranteed?
In total guarantees.
That's a good question. I cannot recall.
Let me
Fox
look
got it though.
Real quick.
Fox Metrics is pulling it up right now.
Yeah.
Because that will be the mark right there in terms. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because Wentz has to get more guaranteed. Has to.
Right.
He may Dak may surpass overall, but not the guaranteed. I can't imagine that.
80 million, man. Ooh.
Like Dak could get like 110, 70 guaranteed. Maybe.
What did Kirk Cousins get? Kirk Cousins got what? 3 years? What was
80. He got like 80 something
guaranteed. So
yeah.
Kirk Cousins, who hasn't been to the who's only won the playoffs. Right?
He might be 89. Fucking Kirk Cousins.
Right. So I'm just saying, Tim.
Yeah, he got $107 million in total guarantees.
What? I thought that was the total contract.
So wait, if Wentz is at 7, Prescott, oh man,
my Lanta,
at least 100 million guaranteed.
I thought that was the full contract.
Yeah, but the full contract is 128. But this is why the way they spread it out. Remember, it's an extension. So he's only going to get paid $720,000 next year. This year, and he's going to get paid next season. I think $8 million. It's going to jump up, but
Wentz is getting paid under $1 million this year.
Yeah, remember, his first pay is going to be 15.4.
That pro-rating bullshit.
That's why.
Where's the brotherly love? He's starving this year, bro.
That's why he got $107 million in guaranteed money.
What's his shit look like at the end of his contract, like the 4th or 5th years?
$30 million.
Atlanta, yo, that even seals the deal now, Fox, even more. You guys are definitely in win now mode.
Between 2021 and 2023, he's getting 15 and 20 mil.
Oh no, the Philly's window is 3 years. Right away. Philadelphia's window for another Super Bowl is 3 years.
You got 2 years.
Tim, under 80 mil for your boy. Under 80 mil.
Right, it's gonna be over. It's going. Listen, again, I don't have an issue.
It's got to be now.
I don't have an issue no more paying Dak more or just as much as Wentz, because at the end of the day, he's giving the Cowboys 100% service.
I think 90 mil is a good.
I mean, listen, if you go 90 mil is fine. But my thing is this: Carson Wentz should have got paid at least during the season, showing that he could play 100%, give 100% to the team. I mean, let's just keep it real. He hasn't. They didn't get a crack back. That's 2 injuries back to back. Why give him all this money now and he didn't play a snap yet? That's on the Eagles score. I think if anything, Dak Prescott, he played every game. His numbers have gone up. You got him a new toy and Amari Cooper. The numbers were supposed to have gone where they gone. We're saying all these things about Amari Cooper today, but yesterday he was a bust. He's not worth the first round pick. He was a third. I'm just saying, if he's a Pro Bowl, if he's the receiver, all the good grades that we talk about today about him is because Dak at the quarterback was doing his job. Pay him. Pat Mahomes is about to blow up the contracts. He's about to get crazy paid.
All right, look, I'm with you, Tim.
Watch.
Hey, if
pay him the money.
And that's the guy.
I'm not worried about it. Don't pay. No, now what Kyle scared me was what he said earlier. That's what scared me.
What?
He said if he doesn't get paid this summer, goes out, has another great year, and then all of us basically like what Joe Flacco did. And who knows? Pat Mahomes about to get paid. Aaron Rodgers and Dak. Holy shit!
Right.
Well, then how you paying the others? Prioritize your other big contracts you got. Remember the game we always like to play on Facebook? Start one, cut one, bench one. Well,
I'm taking.
How about pay one, pay another, and cut this one?
Yeah. It's gonna be over 80 million.
It's over 80 million.
I wouldn't be surprised. 100.
So who's contract?
Kyle hit on the head. He said it. If you don't pay him this summer, it's gonna be the
price tag's gonna go up next summer.
They're not paying it. They're not paying him this summer.
Stop it.
You talking about Dak?
No, they're gonna pay him.
He's
They don't pay him this summer.
He's doing everything he can to get that contract right now. You heard these reports about he's got a bigger demeanor in OTAs right now. A bigger he has more. What is it? They were saying like more. He's more stern in the huddle.
Tim, you know what your worst nightmare is? You don't want him to see free agency and leave for nothing.
Nah. Listen, I hear you. You're absolutely right. You gotta pay him. You got. I mean,
even if he has an average year this year, you're still gonna have to pay him.
Pay him. Listen, give him that 30 mil, 32, 33, or whatever you do. Just do it. Just do it. Listen, he cannot pay him even though, like I said, he could say I don't want to get paid, but Pat Mahomes is right there. Oh,
what the hell's gonna say they don't want to get paid?
Man, he could risk it like Flacco. Go listen. Nah, I want to play another season. I think I earn more money and see what happens. Listen, Pat Mahomes. I don't want Dak to wait for Pat Mahomes to get paid. No.
All right. I got a couple more bonuses. I got to cover all the teams here. Been thinking about this. So Eagles. Here's your over/under 6 games. It's the over/under for their first round draft pick, Andre Dillard. Number of games played.
Where at though? Like right tackle, left tackle, or just anywhere on the line?
Anywhere on the line.
Damn, that's gonna.
Games.
Honestly, because
start 6 games.
He's gonna start at least 6 games.
I'm taking the under.
What was the question again?
I'm taking the over.
I'm taking over on that one. That was
Pale Puto played games last year or some shit, didn't he? Filling for both Lane and Peters.
Yeah, Peters got hurt though.
Well, it's gonna happen again. He's got gravy all in his calves and shit. He's old. He's done, dude.
What was the question again?
The question was Andre Dillard, their first round draft pick. Number of games started. 6 is the over under.
Over. I think Peters is in the show. He was getting tossed around by Randy Gregory himself.
Jason Peters, he just wants to stay at home, just a whole thing of cornbread with some Memphis barbecue on the side. He's done. Andre Dillard, well over 6 games.
Yeah.
And then Lane Johnson, he's diving in a pill bottle of some shit right now. He's writing up an apology letter. I didn't know. I trusted my agent. This is a nutrition I've been taking since I was 3.
Now, Josh, you said Epic Flowers, right? You said earlier Epic Flowers scary. Now
that's Redskins, yeah. Fucking Dwayne Haskins is gonna die. And that's why Fox was right. Fox is correct.
I'm glad you brought up Eric Flowers. Let's move to the Redskins.
Dwayne Haskins is dead, dude. He's done in 4 years, like Fox said.
Let's move on to the Washington Redskins. Here's my over under for them. Trent Williams. We'll set the over under at 4. Number of games played for the Redskins.
I don't know. That might be a push. I honestly, he might say, fuck it. He's been paid pretty well in his career. I'll take the under. This guy's a badass. He's pissed. He doesn't get HIPAA violation, motherfucker.
He's going to get
cut. Hey, he'll be picked up way quick.
Yeah, he will. I'm gonna say the under. I wouldn't be shocked if he pulled a Le'Veon and said, you know what, I'm sitting out.
Look at the numbers for that offense when Trent Williams isn't, or even Morgan Moses isn't in the game. The bookend tackles for that Redskins team, they are garbage. Yeah. Trent Williams is one of the better bookends in the game, honestly. So yeah, he ain't afraid to hold out with the Redskins. Absolutely not. There's owners out there that know the Redskins are a joke with Snyder running that shit and Bruce Allen.
Their alternative is Eric Flowers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you really want that for 16 games?
They need to figure out everything they can to make up and give this guy room service, fucking mini bar service all the way up into OTAs, mini camp, training camp. Sir, you don't have to practice this July. You can wait up until last week.
And finally, let's talk about those New York Football Giants. 12. That's under of sacks contributed by their linebacking group. 12 sacks over under.
Linebacking group.
You know what? I might take over actually because I can see them doing a lot of blitzing to try to get some pressure on the quarterback because they have no elite pass rusher. So I can see them kind of throwing in some kind of zone blitzes, some scheme blitzes. I mean, kind of get some pressure on the quarterback. I'm gonna say over.
I don't really have a lot of faith in Marcus Golden. Alec Ogletree is not a sack guy. BJ Goodson is just under.
Yeah, I got to go the under on that one. I think they only had 30 sacks last season, and I
yeah.
Unless you're moving Jabril Peppers to linebacker.
Just think about it though. But the thing about this, though,
I gotta see what they had as a defensive unit. Hold on.
You got Thomason, you got Destin Lawrence who can eat up blocks. I could see that from a schematic standpoint and from I don't know. So I can see them kind of using that to their advantage. It's like, hey, we can't get no pressure with our edge rushers, so let's try to create something to kind of get some pressure on the quarterback by throwing in some blitzes or things like that. I mean, I can see it kind of being somewhat effective. So I'll say over.
All right.
Why not?
Between all their linebackers, they did have about 16.
I want to hear from you, Tim. 12 is the number of that's the over-under mark. Number of sacks by Giants linebackers next season.
Oh, I think it'll be over. I think it'll be over. Not bad. What's his name? With a K. From Clemson. Your middle linebacker.
From Clemson, that's BJ Goodson.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I think Goodson. He had a pretty good year last year. Is it the same? Hold on, let me look at that.
No, he only had one sack. He only
one sack.
Hold on, I gotta get the guy's name. The guy they were saying he had
half a sack. I'm sorry, Connor Barwin had a sack at least over BJ Goodson.
His name is right here.
Lorenzo Carter.
Yes, from Georgia.
Right. He had 4
He
sacks.
had a pretty good year. Yeah, Goodson.
Kareem Martin's kind of trash. He had only a sack and a half.
Yeah, I think they get it. I think they can get it. Yeah, Lorenzo Carter.
Look. Just in all fairness and full disclosure, from the looks of it, here there are 4 like going across. Like it's gonna be Kareem Martin playing one outside, strong side, weak side Lorenzo Carter. That's usually your pass rusher in the 3-4 is that weak side backer. And then you have Ogletree and BJ Goodson. Then
Marcus Golden probably.
Yeah, Marcus Golden will get some time. They took O'Shane Zimians. He'll get some time. They have Nathan Carr. That's their linebacking group. So
I think against the pass, bad. Against the pass, they're gonna be terrible. But against the run, I think it'd be solid. Listen, they got to make a trade for a pass rusher, a legitimate. Clowney's out there. They can create the cap space. They got to make a trade. I would trade Engram and a draft pick for Clowney. Seriously, that's what I would do.
Look, that would help a lot.
You give it a little something. You can. Ellis could be a tight end for y'all.
I'll say full disclosure about anything will help a lot at this point.
Yeah, they need to make a splash at pass rusher, which is very hard to get.
Thanks for indulging my bonus over unders.
They were good ones. Those were very good ones.
Trent Williams 4, that's definitely the under. He may not play another down in the NFL, to be honest with you.
I like it. And that's a good point. That's a good section to wrap up, as we already had to have Brian leave early at 9, and then Fi's got to leave. So we'll wrap up the show here. Kyle, good over unders. I like some bonus little pop quizzes, as always. Good shit right there. Everybody else, stay tuned for next week, as we're going to be coming at you with the NFC North. Bears, Vikings, Packers, and Lions. We'll see you
on my own team. Yes.
Same place, same time. We'll see you then, knuckleheads. If you haven't already, Facebook and YouTube.
No freaking Dell. No.
Join us.
Dell. No Dell.
No, you knuckleheads.